Good afternoon and welcome to your Don't Be Wack Wednesdays, where I, your boy Wookie of the XXL variety, go through the Evetech specials and give you my top 10 picks. Starting off with a quick honourable mention, Roccat has landed at the store and with some pretty cool and competitive products, to be very honest with you. I mean, this is a complete premium mouse with a mouse pad for under $1,000, which is pretty cool. And these AMO and burst mouse actually have some pretty cool spec and stuff in them. Just having a look at this AMO quickly that I picked up, I just love the harmony of black and white on a product. It just looks so sick like that, to be very honest with you. Nice grip tape on the sides. They've done some fancy stuff with the clicks and with the response time tuning and stuff. And it's got a pretty decent sensor. 35G does make me a little bit concerned on the acceleration rate, but maybe I can convince Uncle Evetech to throw us a sample there and give it a test to see if I can skip it out. But 89 grams is nice, height, weight, everything. It looks pretty good. I'm quite happy to see this brand back. It's got some nostalgic value for me. Back in the day, it was Roccat was one of those emerging steel series, and now it just kind of died, and now it's back. But starting off with the top 10, at number 10, I've thrown in the good old Hikvision 1080p webcam. It's just such a solid deal. We use these things extensively on Eve Sports. Both the boys Nix and the boy Hayes had their camera set up with us, and it just works really nice. I've done a full test in the review. I'm just muted so you don't get any of the sound coming through at least. But I've done a full test of me using it in different environments and scenarios right here in my room, obviously without all the fancy Nvidia stuff that I've got going on right now to blur or replace my background. But for a 1080p 60 fps webcam, it's pretty damn solid. It does have a built-in microphone as well, although I wouldn't rely on it. Watch the review, you'll check what I'm talking about. At number 9, I have to throw in these Alpha wirelesses because they scarcely believable. At $5.99, it actually has proper wireless that's pretty damn comfortable, even for fat head like mine, and everything works better than kind of expected at $599. Even the battery life, I got 15.5 hours of continuous video playback on a pretty high volume, so it tanks. The 17 hours was probably quoted at 20 or 30% volume, but on a properly good audible loud kind of volume, I got 15.5 hours, so it's pretty good. Full review over here once again for you. If you want to find out more, just click the link. At number 8, I've thrown in this MARVO mechanical keyboard simply because it's mechanical. It's got optical switches in a keyboard that costs 699 Rand. It's full flat deck as well. Looks pretty nice. It's quite understated. It's neat. It's got backlit RGB. And did I mention it has optical switches? It's also waterproof, which is kind of wild. I really like MARVO as a bang for buck product. 1000 Hertz polling rate. Maybe you don't have that much control over the RGB, but it's still backlit. It's still a full keyboard. It's still got a waterproof design. It's kind of scarcely believable, the package that you get for $700 with a year warranty. I think they're cracking it for this very entry level budget segment. They're doing an exceptionally good job. At number 7, I've thrown in the Chione 240. I'm still running my 280R some 2 years on. I've gotten new fans and stuff for it. Obviously, they tend to wear out in about a 2-year period. But the cooler and the pump is still working as if it was day one. My temps haven't really fluctuated or changed much. I've just replaced thermal paste and fans, and it's carried on working. So bang for buck on these Gamdias units is pretty damn good once again. 1699. It's on the cheaper end for 240s. Rounding out the top half at number 6, I've thrown in the G502. It's a really solid mouse, built incredibly well. It's almost like it was built by AMG. It's so well put together. It comes with extra weights and stuff. It's a heavier mouse, 100%, but the quality of this thing is just out of this world. And I mean, look at this hero sensor. Just look at it. 25,000 DPI, 40G acceleration, 400 IPS. You're not going to be able to skip it out. It'll be good for anything, literally anything. And if you're playing more MOBA, RTS, and perhaps some MMO, RPG, MMORPGs, if you're a WoW player, there's a decent amount of buttons that you can also program on the thing. And then, of course, because it's Logitech, 2-year warranty. Breaking into the top half at number 5, I've thrown in the TP-Link AX1500. It's a Wi-Fi 6. It's been on here for a while. but it's like just really good value. Like I just haven't seen a router of this level at this kind of price point like generally available on a day-to-day basis. The Wi-Fi 6, as you can see, can do, it's badly highlighted here, but it can do 1200 megabits on the Wi-Fi, so it's pretty damn fast. I personally have a Wi-Fi 5 AC solution, like this kind of speed is my general router, and it was actually about the same price as this. They've made this pretty cheap. It's also got like a proper CPU in it for doing like load management and like some balancing. So I would say this is like a really like pretty premium home slash like small office solution even. And if you've got like a really rubbish like old ADSL router, it can work on that as well. You can actually just go straight out of the ADSL router of one of those LAN ports into this one's WAN port, and then it would spread that as if it was a fiber network like from an ONT or something to that effect. So you can use it in different environments, which is pretty cool. So if you're looking to give your Wi-Fi, home Wi-Fi or your home network a swift kick in the pants, then this might be a pretty good option for that. At number 4, I've kept the NX410 in. This is pretty much the best cheap case at this price point. It's got absolutely everything you want on a decent case that you're going to have for some time. The only thing that I would consider is the GPU clearance, maybe a bit shy if you're going to have water cooling in there as well. It does seem to be pretty decent space up top though, with the for top mount water cooling or a front mount, because yeah, graphics support of 335. I've actually just run into this problem recently on another build. 3070, for instance, the MSI Supreme X is that length, so it's literally going to touch the default fans in the case. But if you've got like a 280, 290, then you've got more than enough room to do a full push-pull setup on your radiator, which does make a considerable difference. But the basic layout of this case, and at the price point, is like super solid. There isn't a better case right now that I can see layout and price-wise than this. And it's also because the included fans, as you can see, you get two 140s up front and a 120 at the rear, which means that you already have more in and out, so it's already going to build some static pressure. You could throw another 120 at the top and you would literally have perfect airflow for like 99% of air-cooled builds. The front mesh is really nice, glass side panel, proper PSU shroud. Like, Antec have knocked it out of the park with this one as far as value is concerned. At number 3, I've thrown in this pretty cool looking Gamdias chair. It's a whole 2,300 Rand. That's macro chair price, except for the fact that you get a 200 kg gas cylinder, some lumbar support pillows, and just a generally bit of a better build quality than a macro chair. I've owned a number of macro chairs. I can show you the one outside that's like disintegrating that I keep for like stacking boxes and stuff on, basically, and for standing on to reach the ceiling at times. It's rubbish. It warped and it died, and it was like 1,500 Rand. I bought a 2.5 grand chair, which also then warped and died. I've seen these at Evetech, and the chances of them warping and dying are way less, especially when it's supporting 200 kilograms. So if you're a big dude, this should be pretty good. It's also pretty wide, which is nice, full 0.5 meter across between the armrests at least. So yeah, if you're big dude and you don't want to spend 10 gajillion Rand on a chair, maybe this is for you. At number 2, I've thrown in this upgrade kit because it's got some pretty good future proofing built into it. 5600X, pretty much the 4th best gaming processor in the world right now. 5600 X570 board at least is also pretty much the best chipset in the world right now. PCI Express 4.0 capable. The only thing on here that you will need to upgrade at some point is your RAM setup, because dual channel makes a considerable performance difference, like 10 to 15%, and if you then go 3200 megahertz with that, you can expect another 5 to 10% depending on the game. So upgrading your RAM is going to give you like a 15% performance improvement, but the fact is you can actually do it, and you actually have the right processor that will actually show gains by doing these sorts of activities. So 9.5 grand, maybe you sell off the RAM at a later stage, but for that board and processor, it's already a pretty sweet deal. And finally, in the number 1 spot, I had to throw this AOC because it caught my eye. 144 Hz, 1 millisecond response time, VA panel, but it's 1440p. It's not 1080. So for 6,800 bucks with a 4-year local warranty, because AOC are mad lads like that, I absolutely love that. Your guaranteed cost of ownership is like pretty damn low with this. And yes, I do also have some concerns on VA. I'm actually going to harass the product manager to get me a sample, because I do want to test it. On the dull that I'm using at the moment, for instance, I have noticed that when you have high contrast areas, so if something's like say a yellow next to like a dark brown or something like that, it will then drag that color across a little bit, and you'll notice some color dragging and stuff. Mostly it's only in like really high FPS games like CSGO that I experience that, but it is there. And I'd like to test this as well, because it's got an MPRT mode, but even without that, I would assume that the base is 4 millisecond in the normal one. It'll probably have a normal 4 millisecond. The only thing here that's a little bit like downturny, honestly, is the brightness. At 250 nits, I would have preferred a 300 or centimeters squared. Its nits in this is almost exactly the same measurement, so it's about 250. But colors like NTSC color gamut is looking really good. Of sRGB, it's like 120%, which is the thing I really like about VA panels. On paper, though, and with that 4-year warranty, this does look like an exceptionally good panel. Anywho, that is all I have for you today. If you have enjoyed it, please hit us up with a like and subscribe. Later in the week, or on Monday, we released the Evetech RYZEN case review. If you haven't checked that, then please do check that out, because your Uncle Evetech actually knocked it out of the park with that one. And then the I've got the MSI GP66 Leopard edition with the brand new Intel 8-core 16-thread, and with the brand new 3070 mobile GPU, which I should have ready for you guys on Friday, latest Saturday, but it will be coming up later in the week. So stay tuned, and I'll see you on the flip side.